It is a little different carrying pads for the first time in a while, but I thought it was a good first day, and I think we'll be a little sharper as the days go forward, as we get used to that feeling again. And football is a physical game, and so it's important to practice that physicality and make sure you get enough reps at carrying your pads and being physical and securing those blocks and protections, because that's how games are won and lost.
With the pads on, it's a little closer to full speed. What's it like going against this defense?
It's a great defense. I can't say enough good things about the guys. What stands out to me maybe is the continuity they have, having played in a scheme for so many years and having played together for so many years. In addition to the fact that they're talented, and gives us a great challenge. They're also very sound. There aren't a lot of players running wide open or blown coverages where they're giving you, a touchdown or a big gain simply because of a mental error. They're on their details, and the scheme is sound, so you have to earn every yard, and that's also the sign of a good defense.
What do you like most about Stephon Diggs? Obviously today we're going to hear from him later about his big payday, but what do you like that you've seen from him?
I could stand up here a while talking about Steph and all his attributes. I think at the end of the day, what I most like is that he loves football and loves to come and work, because as a quarterback, it can be miserable if you're working with someone who really is just out here to get a paycheck and leave. He wants to work. He's excited to practice. He wants to compete. He loves the game. He's coachable. I think that whole part of his personality is what makes it, when I say it's a great locker room, a great culture, it's players like that carrying themselves in that way. But when you add to it great natural hands, good short area quickness and agility, long speed, ability to track the ball in the air really well. He's a seasoned veteran, understands the game, has played in big moments. You start to realize why there was a deal offered him of the size that it was.
How do you see that manifest itself when you talk about a guy that just loves to work and wants to get here every day? What kinds of things does he do to show you that?
Well, we were here till 9:15 last night doing install, and I've been a part of some locker rooms where, by 9 o'clock, some of your guys were sleeping in the back row and not taking notes and not paying attention. They're basically checked out. They're texting or whatever. That's just not him. That's not these guys. And so, at 9 o'clock at night, as we're installing the 100th play of the install, he's still taking notes. He's listening. If the coach has a point to make, he's writing it down, and he's taking the coaching and he's translating it to the field the next day. That's just one example, but it manifests itself over and over in each meeting, in each conversation at lunch, each practice session, each walkthrough. There's just he's out here when I motion him in and walk through to block the safety. There's a sense of urgency. It matters to him. It's not just a walkthrough to go through the motions. This matters to make sure I block the safety so Dalvin can gain some yards on the doctor run. That's what you're looking for.
How much does it matter to you as far as the continuity of this team, that guys like Diggs, Thielen, you, are not going to be here for kind of a while? You have years to build that continuity.
I love it. Continuity is, to me, very important, and it's not a luxury we have in the NFL these days. There is a lot of change year in and year out, so I've come to accept that and understand that you can't use that as an excuse. You have to, as the new players come in, including myself, we have to learn quickly and get caught up to speed and go, and expect there to be more turnover as the year goes. But if we can develop continuity, that's just a bonus, and it is an asset if you can have it. So now we've got to stay healthy, keep those guys on the field, but I think it can really make a difference if you can have it.
Is there anything around that makes you honest that jumps into you?
If he had one route that jumped out, I don't think he gets the contract that they've offered him. I think it's because he can run the entire route tree at a level that would warrant wanting him around. Whether it's a 9-yard stop route, a double move, a 3-step slant, whether it's a post, I think everybody saw over there in the corner by the stands the first day, a double move that he caught over the DB. The ability to track the ball, go get the football, play bigger than his frame. I think he can do just about everything, and that's what you want from a receiver. It doesn't give you limitations.
What does it mean to you as a quarterback when you've got a pair of receivers that are both capable and willing to operate both on the outside and the slot?
Well, better than having no receivers who can do that. You want good players around you. Quarterback's dependent on everybody. It's the ultimate team game. we have one-on-ones where the running backs have to block linebackers, tackles have to block defensive ends, receivers go against DBs. Quarterbacks never do that. And it's a reminder that we're never one-on-one. And for us, it's always a team game. We're always dependent on the receiver getting open, the protection holding up, the running back doing his job. And so we never really have that one-on-one moment. You need players around you, like you said, to have two guys who are known in this league as being accomplished receivers who have been there, done that. It helps.
Kirk, you guys had good success
with Treadwell so far.
Another guy who we're off to a great start. I think he had a great OTAs and minicamp. I think he's having a great start to camp. I'm excited for what he's going to grow into this year, and he's been getting a lot of reps, getting a lot of looks, and been really pleased with what he's done so far in a handful of practices.
Kirk, you guys have had a lot of success, or did yesterday anyways, in the red zone. In your opinion, what's the key to a good red zone offense?
I think it starts with being able to run the football. When it's a condensed area, it's very hard to run the football, but the good teams can still have positive runs in the red zone. So we want to have rushing touchdowns. We want to find ways to have productive runs down there. And then, it's important that we have a high completion percentage down there, that we throw into the end zone, that we, use the back end line, put the ball up high where a guy like Kyle Rudolph can go make the catch. It's very tight windows. You have to have a great feel for the concepts that you can throw in anticipation, because if you wait to see the route get open, usually you're too late, whereas in the field, you can make up for that because you have a little more space.
With that out, what do you try to communicate to him to kind of get that chemistry between a center and a quarterback and timing that?
Well, our lockers are next to each other, or two down from each other, so there's times post-practice or pre-practice where I'll mention something that came up in meetings or came up on the practice field, and during the rookie practice days, we were able to stand behind the offense and talk a little bit, but for the most part, you do what you can do and no more, and so we can't get the snaps. There's certain things we can't do, and we have to make up that ground when he gets back.
What do you like so far with
I think he's doing a really good job. I think he is what you want in your quarterback room as far as a person, the way he carries himself, the experience he brings. I think he'll be a great asset to the room, to me, and I think he'll show that in the preseason. And if he comes in the regular season, I think he'll do a great job.
Also, you have a relationship with Matt Brown going back to Washington. What's kind of been the relationship with him, and what kind of back is he?
Yeah, I've always felt like Mac is a very talented running back, great athleticism, and in Washington he didn't get to play as much as maybe he or I would have liked, but when he did come in, usually explosive things happen. I remember in a 4-minute offense against the Bears, he took a run to the house, probably 60, 70-yard run. Came in against the Raiders in a 4-minute situation at the end of the game last year and had some explosive runs. So when he's got his hands on the football, even in the preseason, he's been very dynamic. And so they'll have another chance here in this preseason to show what he can do. And the tools are there to be a very good back in this league.
Biggs led the NFL in possession century last year. Your experience, just seeing it. Are there times where you're throwing into a window and wondering how this one's able to come down when he's got
he has just a natural ability to track the football with his eyes, attack the football with his hands. I saw it when he came down to Atlanta in early April, just throwing routes on air. He doesn't shy away from the ball. He attacks it and goes and gets it. And you don't do that unless you have confident hands, unless you have natural hands. And when you add defensive backs and you add traffic, those skills really come to the surface and show themselves. And, have to continue to give him opportunities, because if you're going to lead the league in that statistic, then it would make sense to give him the ball in tight windows, or when it looks like he might be covered, to give him a chance to continue to show what he can do.
Kirk, is anyone talking about the night scrimmage on Saturday, about what to expect, the atmosphere, the fans, the craziness? It's going to be pretty hectic.
We talked about a little bit yesterday just how we're excited to turn practice into more of a game feel. I think it's important to get that before the first preseason game, and even in addition to the preseason games, to have substitutions from the sidelines, to have a true flow of a game. The more we can simulate game day during practice, the better off practice becomes. So I'm looking forward to, from that standpoint, in addition to the atmosphere, fan attendance, their support. Obviously that'll be exciting under the lights in a brand new facility, but the way it mirrors game day, I think is most important.